Well, hey, great evening to you all. Yes, I am popping on live early than anticipated because there's a Joel Osteen live that I'd like to hop on at, I think it's 7 o'clock Central Time or something. So I figured, let me get out here early. Let me finish reading up this book. So guys, last night, I'm grateful that you guys all got a taste of what the book started out to be yesterday. So what book is this exactly? Wisden Rising for Every Parent by me, Tobi Staples. Copywritten 2022. Last night we read 3 chapters into it. Chapter 1 being the little things. 2, the fear-based decisions. 3, the generational belief systems. So, the rest of the chapters in the book are sensory overload, 4. Chapter 5 is times are changing. 6, staying in tune. 7, unconditional love. 8, highest potential. And 9, Wisden Rising, with a special note at the end. So we're actually halfway through the book. So instead of me waiting until tonight, 7 o'clock or something to come out here, I decided to come out here now. Why not? Okay? So that's what I'm doing exactly. So I hope you guys have filled your day with heart-filling moments as you should have. And I hope you're appreciating and taking advantage of all of this really mild weather if you're on this side of the fence. And I hope that if you're on the other side of the fence, you guys are having great weather too. So, last night we left off at the end of chapter 3. Tonight I'm going to jump into chapter 4. So like always, I'm not going to watch who comes on or off or comments if there's any until after. You guys all have me on Messenger. If you have any questions, reach me, okay? So, this is Wisden Rising for Every Parent by me, Tobi Staples. Copywritten 2021. All rights reserved. All right, so chapter 4, sensory overload. All right, so there's a perspective of sensory overload that seems to omit a huge part of its true understanding. We sometimes think or believe that sensory overload is just from there being... Sometimes we think or believe that sensory overload is just from there being too much going on outside of us. Don't mind me. This is a copy, so as I'm reading it, if there's anything I need to edit, like some grammar, I'm doing it. So bear with me, because like I said, this is the first copy of my book. So why not edit it at the same time, right? So any grammar I've missed, I am taking the time to put it in, to go back and edit it. All right? So we sometimes think or believe that sensory overload is just from there being too much going on outside of us. But this is not true. And it only gives us half of what we need to identify it. What is going on inside of us really determines how we will be able to perceive what is happening outside of us. In this world today, there are so many things to preoccupy your mind with that we hardly ever take a look at what's going on inside of us. Society has created a never-ending force that initiates a lot of this sensory overload by bombarding us with a constant of way too many distractions from what truly matters. Let's take a look at some of the things that we don't often look at when we're... Let's take a look at some things that we don't often look at when we are feeling like we're in sensory overload, causing us to react in a negative way towards ourselves, our children, and which constructs a destructive mindset never to be forgotten by our children. A shift in perspective will assist with the sensory overload, no matter what is causing this feeling within you. In order to identify where it's coming from, you must identify what is happening within you when triggered into overload. Sensory overload is the term used when senses are overloaded with information, and we, in reaction to this, feel overwhelmed, which triggers other things in us. We like to solely focus on what we're feeling within the 5 known senses in our bodies, neglecting that we have other sensory mechanisms at play also. Without understanding this, we will remain a sufferer of it, not able to show our children how to not be thrust into such an overload. Children can sense and feel more than we as adults, because they're more connected to themselves still and have not been damaged by life and belief systems yet. Yet we bombard their learning with things of no importance and fill their heads up with useless opinions instead of facts about the power they do hold. Let's make it clear that our 5 senses give us such meaning in this life. The ability to see, taste, hear, smell, and touch can be enhanced as well as diminished, depending on the environment, the individual, the circumstance, or situation, but also depending on your beliefs of their function. What I would really like for you to understand is that there is so much going on inside of you, while these senses are constantly taking in information that your body will process. When feeling overloaded, most of the time, it has to do with the inability to stay neutral to your learning experiences. If you remain neutral and open to your learning, then you will never be in this state. In this world today, it is extremely difficult for some to even identify what it is that's triggering the overload, because they look for the answers of why this is happening within that one situation that causes you to tip from okay to overload as fast as it happens. It's easier said than done. Remaining neutral would be defined as not fluctuating between the good and bad or opinion of either. Neutral allows for such understanding to arise. Being able to see from a neutral point allows you to not be swayed into overload, as you are not allowing your thoughts about what is happening to take over your being. Our thoughts have a lot to do with the feeling of sensory overload. Things are not the way they used to be. With readily available knowledge now and many more resources, with an ever-changing world, if we are constantly seeking the answers outside of us, we will find many that will fill you up with anxiety, fear, doubt, shame, helplessness, and you will stay in that state. You see, the trick to overcoming sensory overload is to remain calm within yourself. Doing so allows you to calmly observe what is going on outside of you and allows room for a different perspective. Raising your own vibration by being loving to yourself and others will not allow room for negative emotions to control your being. It has a lot to do with what we think about. Then feed these thoughts, creating a great imbalance. Fear brings this on also. There are many things to think about when raising another being today. How they see us responding to the outside world will govern how they themselves will govern their beings also. As a parent, you must find your peace within to become the solid ground for the little one to learn to walk on. If you're creating a shaky ground for their learning, it takes them longer to walk. Every stage must be learnt in life before advancing to another. With so much going on in the world, in our families, in our workplaces, and in our homes, that we don't get the time to just be calm. We can choose to be calm, though, no matter what's happening outside of us. Stress, anxiety, depression, suicide are all brought on by a sense of sensory overload. The only thing that is really stressing you out about any situation that may arise is what you allow your thoughts to be about it. In my learning now, I have realized that it is very important to remain calm no matter what. If you don't, you will never see the logic in anything. Our brains react emotionally to what we're picking up on or sensing, only to stabilize the body into balance again. We tend to feed our emotions by not only acknowledging them, but giving them life through thoughts, speech, and actions. Then we complain about it all not getting us anywhere. without ever realizing that we did it to ourselves by not remaining calm to begin with. Some say, well, how can you even be calm today? We live in a society that is constantly installing fear. See, removing all this fear removes the sensory overload from your life as well. You are tapped into infinite possibilities of what can be for you and yours. Are you always stressed out, depressed, sick, and find that you are stuck there? There are just too many excuses why you have reached this said point in your life? Well, if this is where you are at in life, it is time to see that you are creating that for your child also. You need to find ways to improve your patience, observation, and trust for the universe and the big picture. There are many techniques that you can try, such as affirmations, meditations, to help you realign to stay calm. Realign to some calm. What is not talked about today is the true cause of the sensory overload. I will explain it like this. We have been living in a lowered vibration on this planet Earth for way too long. Now, with all the advancements in science and technology, we have a new understanding of the energy that runs this show. Now, our generations before us, we used, hold on. See, I'm editing my book as the first copy, so let me just throw my grammar in there. Sorry for this. Now, our generations before us, we used to stagnate. Okay, yeah. There we go. Now, our generations before us were used to stagnant, slow transformation as advancements had not reached the levels that they are now. Without all these advancements, a new age, a new opportunity to save the planet would have never happened. Now that people are not hidden away from knowledge, they're seeking their own truths and finding them. With the increased awareness of frequency and vibration, as well as energy being the initial spark behind any creation, brings fear to some, as it means change. Change is happening so fast that if you don't have an inward perspective, you'll find yourself in overload as there is so much more out there to distract us from what really matters. The key to avoiding it all is to remain mindful of your ideas of the world and everything in it. Everything has a purpose on this planet. No purpose greater than the other. All and everything should be respected equally on the planet. Although we are still in great times of change, we cannot deny how the times are changing so fast. The frequency of the earth is rising. It is time to flow with the rising. The generations of today don't know how it was back when we were young. They sure are up to date with all the latest advancements, though. This also causes overload because we have created a society of wants, not needs, which also keeps us shackled to an existence of constantly wanting the latest material things. With constant upgrades for everything all the time, it is very hard to keep full up to date. So now you need to take the plunge within and unplug from it all. When you do, you will immediately feel the benefits of doing just that. Let's shed some light on how much times have changed. We all need some reminders of how things were some time ago. So chapter 5, times are changing. We can't deny how much times have changed. We can remain in denial about it, but that won't change what is happening on Earth. This is a massive shift of energy that will create such change that Earth can no longer operate the way it has for generations before us. We've been stuck in a deeply embedded density for years. It is now for us to elevate the frequency of the Earth in order to cause a shift that will save the planet. We have already felt 5 massive extinctions on this planet. And before this shift in energy, we have been heading towards the 6th. Humans have been stuck in generational belief systems, social conditioning, a lack of self-love, a lack of love for each other. Teachings of life have been fear-based, leaving us stuck in a repetitive cycle of existence, causing great damage to not only ourselves, but to the Earth. All the advancements by humans have created enough learning for us now to know better. Changing these conditioning systems and generational belief systems. Science backs so much now. Now that it is proven, how can we continue to raise our children with outdated belief systems? We claim to want better for our children, but do we really if we flood them with fear and negativity from the programming of these systems? Planets have been aligning in such a way that the frequency here can no longer be stuck in this density. Souls have made contracts to take on human experiences here to bring forth the necessary love and light needed to disrupt these patterns and systems. I'm one of them. I'm so grateful to have met my higher self. This experience truly explained why I was here to begin with. I had forgotten my soul contract, my purpose, my way for so long. To reconnect to this, and within a year completely change my life. I'm now embracing my purpose, and that is to flood this world with impactful, positive changes by showing and opening ways for others to do what I have done for myself. We are so lucky to be living during this great time of change. It's amazing to see with It's amazing to truly see that with all the much needed love, we will save our planet. We may not see all the beauty of this in our lifetime experience here, but by creating such a great change within, we'll fill our children with the openness to learn about this new way. If as parents, we do not harness and embrace this great shift happening on this earth, we will be unable to show our children how to do the same. Everything on earth must change and will over time. I am fully aware now of how much change is needed and to what depth. You see, the knowledge about what we hold internally has been kept away from humans for so long. And it all seems like news to us. It really isn't. Because the universe has not changed its method of operation. Energy is the beginning of all things, the connection to all things, the initiation of all material things. And this is what governs our human life experience on Earth. This is not an easy planet to live on. But if we all understood that we are here to have an experience of a lifetime, given all we need to govern through it also, our bodies have what they need to repair themselves without intervention. We have learned about global warming, and the children of today are taking great measures to not only be heard, but to force great change for the generations to come. We have learned about epigenetics, now understanding that we are not stuck into the cycle of DNA, that its trajectory towards one set outcome for us. Okay? We now understand more about what has been hidden away for years. We have made great advancements in technology, which has given the world and its human beings a way to easily access knowledge. Now things can be spoken about that were hushed in the past. People are owning their beings for the first time in history. What a great time to be alive. The key is very simple. If we express love to ourselves and others and the planet, we will all be just fine. There's been a lack of love for too long, which enables this dense vibration. Times are changing as people are learning that they are so much more that they believe themselves to be. People are now understanding that they are not set in any disease that they manifest within their beings either. People are learning how to be more compassionate, empathetic, caring, loving individuals. This is great. And it shows how much things have really changed for the better. We're now understanding that food can either hinder us or help us. And we as a collective are deciding to make better choices for ourselves and our young. We now see how destructive the patterns have been set in place long ago have been for many, okay? We now understand how big business has not helped us in many ways. The greatness of all of this is very simple. We have learned from it all. We all have the choice to live in the old destructive patterns, or you can make the shift to a higher acceptance and understanding so that the generations to come will easily embrace these great changes. Time is something that is conveniently used to shackle us to a false belief that that is something that is limited to us. Our energy never dies. And now it is proven that once we hang up our jackets, our physical bodies, the energy of our beings are still alive and well. Times have changed with opening doors of the endless possibilities of the infinite universe. We must go with the flow, not putting any resistance to change, as this only is damaging to your own being and to others. We now also understand that the only thing that separates us is our free will. We now understand that we are all energetically connected, and therefore telepathy is possible. We also have been awakened to fresh, new, and exciting possibilities for this world. Times are changing, and the old patterns and ways of existence for mankind and the totality of the planet are getting better. With this knowledge, we understand that with the right perspective, that we can truly have a full and meaningful life. There's so much hope for you, your children, and all the planet to live abundantly. There is so much more to explore within yourself. You are a creator, and you are now able to embrace that you are a creator, and you are now able to embrace what once you couldn't because there was stigma attached to being a creator. Our talents are our tools to get through this lifetime experience. It is just only an experience for us to learn, and we now know this. We should be governing our beings accordingly, appreciating all that life has to offer you. When doing this, naturally, your children will do the same. Times have changed enough to understand that children have the most loving impact on this planet, and that they are to be heard. Times have changed to understand that abuse is not only unacceptable, but intolerable. These are great changes happening. With this change of the times for the better of all in this experience, on this planet, follow and flow with the changes so that they are easily installed into the next generation to make their experience more fulfilling. We must stay in tune with all that is happening, not just for ourselves, but for our children also. Hop into the next chapter and I'll explain its importance to you. Guys, we're almost at the end of this book. So another 10 pages or so and the book is done. This is a really easy read. Chapter 6, Staying in Tune. I can't stress how important it is to stay in tune with what is happening within your own being and what is happening around you. Staying in tune with your own vibration that you are staying in tune with your own vibration that you are impacting this world with helps you understand why you must be in touch with your innermost parts of yourself. Are you staying in tune with all of what you are picking up? Like, what are you picking up on? You staying in tune with all of what you are picking up on? Guys, I'm editing as I'm going, eh? Why you feel the way you do? Are you intentionally setting the best foot forward every day? Are you allowing the world's negativity to influence you? Or are you staying in tune with what is truthfully loving, projecting this into your own life and all the lives that you influence? Our children see all of this for the truth of what and all, while we make excuses for ourselves and teach them to do the same. Yes, our lives are very busy. especially when we are managing not only our own schedules, but also the schedules of our children. Are you truly connected to what your child is feeling within the truth of their life? Are you able to understand that times are changing so fast, and that with all the knowledge hold on here. Are you able to understand that times are changing so fast, and that with all the knowledge readily available to the younger generations, they will explore all the answers that are at their fingertips, coming up with their own beliefs about it all? Are you aware of what your child is looking at when they see you? Do they see somebody that is nurturing them or breaking them before they have a chance to experience it? When we look at all of this, what we find may be very unsettling within your own being. This will provoke change within you for the better. It takes honest self-acceptance with a want for change, believing it is for the highest good of yourself and your children. It takes an understanding that learning is a process, and so is change. We all have to start somewhere. In order to stay in tune, well, first you must get in tune. In order to do this, you have to really take a close look at everything in your life and see what you are out of tune with to begin. Have you been honoring yourself, your feelings, your being, your own self-worth? Have you been self-loving? If not, well, you're out of sync with even your own being. Getting in tune with yourself is the very key to getting in tune with anybody else. You can sit with yourself and all of what you tell yourself to excuse why you act the way you do, or you can make a simple choice to get in tune. Because self-discovery is an adventure. There is so much more within us than what we have been made to believe. We really should harness that. Get in tune with the fact that we are creators, here to create a wonderful experience for ourselves on such an amazing planet. Given all that we need to thrive, being made already to survive, we're magnificent, amazing, very calculated beings. We need to understand that what we fuel into our lives, we need to understand what we fuel into our lives by thought alone. Getting in tune with your ideas about yourself, your life, your children, your mindset, your perspective, and the world really opens the doors of possibility to change. Getting stuck out of tune with it all leads to suffering. Who wants that? When we have learned now, who wants that? Now, who wants that? When we have learned now that all we genuinely must do is learn how to love ourselves and others a little more. How hard is that really? It seems impossible for some, only because they're out of sync with who they are. With who they are and what they're doing. The ripple that they're sending out into the collective energy of the planet. stuck focusing on blaming everything and everybody for their hardships in life, instead of allowing the learning of it all to fuel your existence into a higher level of understanding, where you'll be faced with a whole new set of learning. What keeps us stuck to it all is believing that it all limits us, when it doesn't. We're not in tune when we're telling ourselves all the crazy things that we do. We're not in tune when we're putting resistance to anything good in our life from our own limiting belief systems that have been installed through generations before you. You truly are who you believe you are. And this floods into how we raise our children. Enjoy every piece of it. So everything floods down to our kids. If you don't get in tune with it, if you don't get in tune with all that is hurting you, well, then you are handing this to your child from you. Not fair, I would say. Learning to deal with your own being is essential, but before trying to govern another being, I would think. We seem to have it backwards. We have a belief that our children make us better beings. We have a belief that our children make us better beings. But why can't we just be better beings for our children? Everything that you fear that has you traumatized, doubtful, sad, depressed, anxious, lacking is all that you are handing to your children. You must really fix what is not loving within yourself so that you can show what is possible to your child. Showing them that staying in tune with life is a great thing. Being a creator is magnificent and amazing. This allows a greatness to flourish within them, giving them the right tools for their own individual experience of life. Get in tune with yourself. Implement daily rituals into your life that promote wellness for you and your children. There are simple things that you can do every day that will help empower you and your child. When you get up in the morning, tell yourself good, truthful, empowering things. If your child hears this and sees your example of greatness, they will automatically follow the same path. If they are watching you creating greatness for yourself and them, then it'll be naturally welcome to them as a way of life. Alter any thoughts that you may allow to leak in by catching them and rewording them for your highest good. Instead of telling yourself all that negative self-talk, replace it with healthy, inspiring, motivating self-talk. This will automatically raise your own vibration. Our ideas and our thoughts control everything, and our physical bodies follow. Our children watch and learn from us more than learning from what we're telling them. If a child is watching an adult who is not embracing their own greatness and appreciating, how on earth does a child learn how to do it? Then we complain about how our children turn out, when they turn out exactly the way we governed it to be. Staying in tune with what you are manifesting is key to understanding what you are putting out to the world, putting out to your children and the world. Get real with it, because your children go out into the world with only what you have given them as tools to get through it. Learning is only open to those who believe that there is more than what we have learned at home. The learning of life is so abundant for the better of humanity. Learning is priceless, and even staying in tune with the simple fact that we are all that we believe ourselves to be, and our children will only amount to what we believe them to be in our own minds. Watch your thoughts. Watch your actions, your way of life, your inspiration, your intentions, your focus, your investment of your time, your effort, and mostly your energy. Staying in tune with what truly matters will show your child how to make healthy choices for themselves as they grow and evolve through their own personal experience. Watch the generational belief systems and conditionings that you're installing into them. When we realize that a child's fundamental belief system is comprised of all of that subconscious, is comprised of all of what? Of what? The subconscious absorbs from birth until the age of 3, then you will want to make sure they are absorbing the right kind of things. Staying in tune helps in every aspect of one's life, which ripples into the lives of their children. In order to fully stay in tune, a shift must be made into the perspective. A shift must be made in your perspective from an outward perspective that allows everything outside of you to control everything going on inside of you, to an inward perspective where you allow yourself to learn, feel, heal, and free what is hindering you from remaining exactly in this state of unconditional love. This is so important for yourself and your children. We think we love unconditionally, but we really don't until we reach a state of understanding through learning about ourselves that we can love and accept ourselves, enabling us to unconditionally love others. The highest priority that you should hold is staying in tune with unconditional love. This is so important for a child's well-being that I've devoted a whole chapter to it. So let's go learn about unconditional love. So we're almost done the book, chapter 7, Unconditional Love. Yeah, a couple more pages and we're done. All right. Love is not what you've been made to believe it is. Let me enlighten you to what it is all about from my personal experience of connecting to my own soul for the journey of a lifetime. Your soul that governs your existence here is only made up of the energy of unconditional love. There is no fault, judgment, blame, denial, shame, guilt, or any other negativity contained within this great energy that is eternally connected to the universe and our Creator. This is only a love that has no borders, boundaries, or conditions. The energy of this unconditional love runs the whole of everything in existence and ever created. We have been made to believe from a young age that if we were to be loved or to gain another's love, that we had to be a certain way. We've been taught that love is conditional. that we should love only if a person or situation is worthy of being loved. Factually, we come from unconditional love, sourced through our life experience by it. We resist it through our own personal life, whether receiving it or giving it, only because the understanding of it doesn't even exist to 95% of the world's population. Only acting out of love as if it were a charade. We use the word love as an excuse more than a reason. If you really don't know or felt unconditional love for yourself, then you really don't understand it. Practice it or teach it for that matter. We are not taught from young to unconditionally love anything or anybody, which enables all kinds of harmful emotions to keep us shackled to a conditional love for the totality of everything. We're conditioned to see ourselves according to what others showed you from birth. We are taught separation, individualism, and what to strive for in your life. We grow up believing everything that has been installed by whatever situations or traumas you have stored in your thinking process. Stored in your thinking processes. This keeps you in a state of thinking you know what love is, never truly feeling what true unconditional love is. Let me clearly explain the difference between conditional love and unconditional love. Conditional love is a thinking process of loving. It's not the feeling of love. State of love, source of love, or source love. This is a state of thinking that is within you that is made up of all of the beliefs about love that you have deeply planted in there. If you pick yourself apart, only choosing to love some parts of yourself, you're even conditionally loving yourself. We all do it when we go through. Look, hold on. You are conditionally loving yourself. We all do it when we go through numerous partners intimately. We pick them apart, conditionally loving them, which only gives you the ability to stay stuck. We're never truly capable of eliminating this within ourselves if we are not aware that you are loving conditionally. We decide how to treat ourselves and others based on these conditions. We love our children differently from this conditional state. This is unhealthy and will stunt their growth. Into a highly successful stunt their growth from. Okay, so because like I said, I'm doing the edits as I'm reading this. It was my first copy, right? This is unhealthy and will stunt their growth from evolving into a highly successful, well-rounded individual. We show them praise for accomplishments, goals achieved, and we scorn their mistakes. We stunt their learning because of our own unhealed wounds of life. We rob them from ever reaching their highest potential by installing fear into them, or even trying to steer them in a direction that is different from their truest nature. This is not healthy for anybody. And it causes extreme turmoil within a human being and their own experience of life, forcing them to search for what they're lacking externally, never being able to stay tapped into it internally. This is not fair to you, your children, your life, your mindset, or your well-being. Unconditional love is a state of feeling, as this is the energy that gives your human body the power to have its magnificent experience here, to understand uniqueness and free will, bringing so much love to this planet. This is the very essence of your truest nature of your being. Whatever your reality here, within your experience, stays within the human and never infuses your soul. All of it is just an experience. Your soul remains pure, of unconditional love, no matter what you are living on this earth. We've fallen victim to believing that we are our experience of life. And we're not. We are an energetic force of unconditional love and light first. And return to that after the experience is over. Remaining in this truest nature of your being allows you to tap into this unconditional love. To do this, you must disconnect from all that in which you believe to be true about yourself in this life. Trust the universe. And you will get past all of your own self-inflicted blockages. Ask the universe to guide you and show you, because it will. This opens up your ability to loving yourself unconditionally. Also, bringing forth an understanding of why you were shackled to the unconditional love for so long. Shackled to the conditional love for so long, never allowing it to seep into your being ever again. From the understanding, experiencing, practicing, and teaching unconditional love, it is only then that you can learn to love others unconditionally also. What I want to stress to you is this. Love your children without boundaries, conditions, judgments, in a stable, nurturing way. Don't break their spirits before they have a chance to experience their life. Why I say break their spirits is because a child is born into this world within this state of unconditional love for themselves, others, and the world until they're programmed and conditioned differently. Keeping a child within this state of unconditional love will certainly better their unique learning experience of life, and yours for that matter. It is essential to change how people see themselves and their own unique ability or inability to love wholeheartedly. We can learn how to love the right way, ripping the generations to come away from their truest nature. Our truest nature enhances our personal learning. Tap into it. This is how you reach your highest potential within your experience. All right, guys, chapter 8, highest potential. We can all sit back and think what our highest potential might be. But unless you truly understand what you are and what you are made up of, what science now proves about our energy, then you really have no clue what the infinite possibilities are for your highest potential. I can tell you this. I can tell you this one fact, though. You from birth having been restricted. You from birth having been restricted from your highest potential within yourself, staying shackled to what you have been made to believe. Simple. You have limited your own natural ability to create, thrive, and be abundant in all areas of your life. By this chapter, you should be fully aware of the things that... By this chapter, you should be fully aware of all of the things that have been keeping you locked into an unhealthy experience. It all amounts to the combination of your thoughts about it all. The programs that have been repetitively installed from birth by family, friends, society, generational belief systems, conditioning, all keeps you away from your truest nature. Unless your family was enlightened and showed you how to harness your gifts and use them to enhance your life. This is all stuff that we have now learned through teachings when our generations before us did not have such knowledge available to them. There is one basic understanding of it all. When a person's needs are not met as an individual, they cannot excel in any one area of their life. They're constantly struggling within themselves to seek out some type of balance outwardly, instead of understanding that all of it really stems from inside of them and what they are programmed to believe about, not only about themselves, but the world also. There is a hierarchy of needs that is known within our learnings of what basic needs are for any individual. This is not news. How often do we take any of this into consideration? We never take the time to understand what we are thriving for, or what need of ours or what need of ours we are trying to have met. Okay, so I'm going to reread that. We never take the time to understand what we're thriving for, or, hold on. See, I'm finding corrections as I go. Sorry, guys. Okay. Never find the time to understand that we're thriving for, or what need of ours. Okay, perfect. Grammar's in. Good. Okay, we never take the time to understand what we're thriving for, or what need of ours that we are trying to have met. Basic needs must be met for a person to be even open to learning about their highest potential. We seek out people, situations in life to fulfill these needs if they are not met within a healthy structure to grow within. If you don't provide fulfillment of all the needs to your child as an individual, they will then more than likely going to seek it outside of your family structure in your home. They will find the things in life that resonate the most with them. This doesn't allow for somebody to reach their highest potential if they're constantly chasing the urge to fulfill basic needs. We all have psychological needs We all have physiological needs that include air, food, water, sex, sleep, balance, and elimination. This is our first and most basic need in life. Without the security of this, we cannot fulfill our second need, which is safety. We have a basic need to be safe. Safe in our own skin, in our homes, in our jobs, in our resources for security, in our families. We need to feel safe within our own health even. Once this need is met, we can go on to fulfilling our third basic need, which is an individual's need to have love and belonging in their life. This need is met through family, friends, and sexual intimacy. The third need fuels our fourth need, which is our need for esteem in life. We need self-esteem, sense of achievement, sense of being respected by others, heard, validated. With all these needs being met initially, without all of these needs being met initially, one has no ability to attain self-actualization or their uniqueness of their potential. All needs must be met for us before being able to tap in to our creative power, our problem-solving abilities, our acceptance to new ideas, even in facts. Just because this is not understood by the generations before us doesn't mean that we can't change it. Doesn't mean that we cannot change things now. Change things all now for the evolution of the generations to come. We must focus on retaining one's ability to stay within their own truest nature, assisting them with the fulfillment of their needs, so that they will have a chance of feeling their own highest potential of their being. Generations have stunted a child's growth and ability to harness their power for hundreds of years now. They're the ones that are not tarnished by life, but we hand them all of our own scars, only realizing it too late. This is not fair to any child, only manifesting a chaotic, unhealthy, unfulfilling experience for them. Then they spend the rest of their lives trying to return to a state of unconditional love that they were born into. That is why when we get into turmoil within, that is when we get into turmoil within our own existence of it. We know deep within us that what we are living goes against what our inner core is telling us. We waste so much of this experience trying to figure out why we are in such opposition with our own beings. Well, that's why. We are working against our truest natures of our beings from the moment that we're ripped away from the state of unconditional love. Anybody who experiences this within their own experience has had a very hard time with it, which we've all been. We come from generations. I'm coming out of the book. We come from generations of trauma that has been so suppressed into the DNA of our bloodlines that, you know what, stuff coming up in you, you don't even know if it's your stuff or if it was your father's stuff or your grandfather's stuff, or that's how it works until you carry the cross and heal it all. So, all right. This cuts us off from our own natural ability to thrive. and to be abundant, which is our natural birthright. We never are able to achieve our highest potential if we're ripped away from it, from the state of it when we're born, right? We're ripped away from it. Well, then we are never able to achieve our highest potential if we're ripped away from this state that we are born into. We now must change this for our children and many generations to come, honoring them, loving them, nurturing them, guiding them, validating them. We cannot be fearful of what life has to offer them. Their journey is unique to the learning that they are here for within their own experience of life. This has nothing to do with you. Our job is to love them without condition. Keep them safe until they themselves can do that. Give them proper tools to use to experience life with. Teach them that they are creators. Show them how to manifest lovingly for themselves and others. If we refuse to see what has been done wrong, then how can we make it right? We can't. So let's, as a whole, try our hardest to keep children safe, loved, and without fear, so that they may reach their own true highest potential within their experience of learning. Just knowing the essential need for change, just knowing the essential need for changing the way we all have been treated. Okay, need for changing. Hold on. Just knowing essential need for changing the way we've treated ourselves. All right, there we go. Just knowing the essential need for changing the way we have treated ourselves and our children for generations shows that you have truly decided to enlighten yourself. I would say that after reading this book, you're now wise and rising. Guys, chapter 9, Wise and Rising. And it looks like we're at the end of the book. So this is a 2-page thing. So I'll read it out quick and yeah, the book is over. So chapter 9, Wise and Rising. By this chapter of the book, you have a very clear understanding of the fundamental building blocks for whether you guide yourself and others lovingly. This is totally your choice. But I do congratulate you on investing in not only yourself, but your children also. Allowing yourself to rebuild your parenting skills from a loving place within helps a child in every area of their life. Reminding yourself that... I'm getting tired with the read. Okay. Reminding yourself that it is all the little things helps you to see what you are projecting into your parenting as an individual first. We are all individuals before becoming parents, and our own experience of life either provides us with better parenting skills or not. The little choices that we do really create. Hold on. The little choices that we make do really create huge ripples out into this world. We must really be aware of this in order to bring forth change. Elimination of fear-based decisions will allow yourself room to destruct the old ways that have hindered your effectiveness within your own experience. If allowing this to govern your own life and your well-being, well then, simply put, this is what you are passing on to your children. We should be teaching a child to fear nothing at all and to get the most out of the experience of life. Fear only brings forth a predicted reaction. Fight, flight, or freeze. This is not healthy for anybody. Building and constructing new generational belief systems will assist a child and their children to get the most out of their own personal experience of life. The old ways are based on old knowledge. We must get up to the times now, flow with the evolution into the new ways. This will assist in the saving of the planet through individual and collective healing. This will ripple out into the world, helping it heal itself also. Removing sensory overload within your own being and around you bring forth an ability to remain neutral to everything and anything that is going on outside of you. There is no negative emotions within calm. There is just peace, which allows you to tap into your creative, naturally abundant being. Sensory overload only keeps one distracted from what truly matters, not serving them or their children any good. Understanding that, as much as times and knowledge of life is advancing and changing, we must stay up to date with all that is going on. This truly enables you to teach your child from a modern, updated perspective. Refusing to advance your own knowledge and allowing yourself to heal the parts of what you need to heal only leads to an inability to adapt to the ever-changing times. This will stunt your growth as an individual and stunt the growth of your child also. Get up to date with everything so that you can provide proper learning for your child. Staying in tune with yourself, your feelings, and with what truly matters will teach your child to do the same. Self-reflection helps assist with really taking a good look at what you're doing and what your child is seeing and learning from you. Stay in tune with your child. This is the key to the maintenance of a healthy, nurturing, loving relationship with them. Unlearn the conditional love and allow the room for the feeling of unconditional love to take over. Love yourself firstly, wholeheartedly, without any judgments, denial, shame, blame, guilt, and this will ripple out to your child to feel and learn from. Remaining with this state, within this state, allows you to tap into your truest nature, providing all the love, safety, acceptance one needs to flourish and thrive within their experience of life. Allow room to meet all of your basic individual needs so that you may do the same for your children. This allows the infinite possibilities of your highest potential to be felt by yourself, your children, and the world. You must believe that you are so much more than what you have been made to believe. Once you feel this, then you can seek to tap into it. There are infinite possibilities within your highest potential of your being. It is of your own free will whether you choose to use it for your highest good or not. I would say that you're off to a great start now. Wised and rising. That's the end of the book, guys. All right, so look. I'm going to read the special note at the end of the book. But this is my Wised and Rising by Tobi Staples, 2022. Here we are, the special note. So this is the very last book that I wrote. Special note. Congratulations. You made it through this very eye-opening book. hopefully now you have a very clear picture of what needs to be changed, bettered within yourself in the attempts of bettering your experience as a parent. Remain focused on being unconditionally loving in all that you say, in all that you do and say, and you can't go wrong. You'll figure it out as it unfolds into a never-ending journey of fulfilling love. We all have made so many mistakes, but we aren't changed to, but hold on. We have made so many mistakes, but we aren't changed. Oh yeah. We have all made so many mistakes, but if we aren't if we aren't changed by them, okay, but we aren't changed by them. We all have the capacity to be better people for ourselves, our children, our interactions, and our whole life. I'm very proud of you for embracing your evolving into a better parent. We all can be better listeners, have more patience, be more caring, empathetic, compassionate, loving people, parents, and beings. Enjoy the adventure of parenthood. Enjoy the mountains, the moguls, and most of all, the view from the peaks. I love you all. I would love to say that now, that you are all now wise and rising. Love you always and forever, Tobi. Copyright 2022, all rights reserved, Tobi Staples. So, this is my last book, Wise and Rising for Every Parent. Guys, I've got a lot of great books in between the first one and the last one. All right, the kids' books. Guys, look. My books are in Barnes & Noble. If Tobi's books can make it to Barnes & Noble, well, then they must be okay books, don't you think? Go get them off my page. The post for the link for my books is posted to my page, if you want them in between. Guys, I love you all. Love yourselves heartfully. Embrace change, because that is what makes things new and exciting. You cannot stay in a constant of who you think you are, because that is the farthest thing from who you really are. Embrace your magic. I love you all. Have a great night. Peace.